You are listening to KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank, your partner in possible.
What's happening, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in for another week of Currently. I am Dan Kooser, here with my buddy Chris Wright. Chris, how are you, buddy? Fresh off the draft, what's going on?
I absolutely love draft night. That has got to be one of the most exciting drafts in terms of just trades, just stuff happening, left and right, teams moving up and down, players coming and going. It's a lot of fun to be a fan.
Oh, for sure. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but I followed along a little bit on my phone, and it was man, oh man, we'll pop right into it and break down all the picks and see who continues to win the off season, if you will. But shit, guys, thank you for being here. Again, if you haven't rated us or reviewed us on Apple Pods, Spotify, go hit that 5 stars on there for us. We greatly appreciate it. You like my new digs, man? I miss my scarves right now. It's weird.
It looks weird. It's not the same.
Well,
it's not the same.
I'm in an older person's office, so it looks different. I did alter the camera. There's 3 crosses back there. That's like love, peace, and Jesus and all that. So I was like, all right, let's not get into it. But buddy, is there going to be a time where we stop being excited about the pending KC Current season? Like, this happened immediately, man, when KC Current made a freaking monumental trade that we did not foresee happening.
Yeah, I was actually getting ready to go to the gym, and I was going to watch the draft on my phone. And the second, I was going to watch up to Kansas's first pick 10. And then I was going to leave. And then, Kansas City traded Lynn Williams. It went on the clock at 2. And at that moment, I was like, I'm not going to the gym. Like, I'm staying here. Like,
you didn't go?
Too good. I didn't even go.
You skipped your workout for this.
I did.
Serious?
It was too good for me to leave the house. And right before the draft started, there's trades. So, it was just pandemonium. But yeah, we traded Lynn Williams for the second overall pick.
Who guessed this? Who had this in their soothsaying or whatever? Who freaking foresaw this happening? Like, I didn't.
The front office. That's about the only people who could have predicted that, because this was not on anybody's radar. I saw this nowhere.
Now you got some people saying well, I guess we know where Sam Mewis' status is. And it's like, hold on. Sam Mewis is an entirely different person. She's an adult. This is a business. Like, come on. You don't quit your job just because your friend got moved to another team. You know what I mean? You don't just say, well, I'm out of here too. I don't know. That seems like a weird take to me.
Well, they're professionals,
Yeah. This
is what they do for a living. So, but yeah, the second overall pick, Michelle Cooper, man, just shocked, absolutely baffled.
It's a big one, huh?
It is the big one. And she is, if there was a forward to go in the last 5 years, she would be number 1. She is the best forward that's went since probably Sophia Smith.
That's saying something. Female player of the year.
Is definitely saying something. If Alyssa Thompson did not go to Angel City, and that's who they wanted all along, that was their player, then Cooper would have been the first overall pick, hands down. Just such a tremendous player.
This is wild to trade up like that. It gives me very big big Mahomes draft vibes. Trading up like that, big player, future league MVP, Super Bowl winner, stuff like that. See if it pans out for us. I can't help but think, and you have to remind me who said this in our team chat, that is KC Current going to open their new stadium by hanging a banner? Who said that? Was that Tucker?
No, I don't think so. I can't remember who it is off the top of my head, but that was a good call by him. That was pretty cool.
Big deal. Yeah, that would be amazing. By the way, that would be there's a big year upon us, by the way, to be in Kansas sports and everything. Obviously, Kansas Jayhawks national champs last year. This year, Casey Current has more than enough talent to get things done. Chiefs could definitely get it done. Sporting KC doing big things. As we say every week, man, it's very exciting. And this Michelle Cooper news, like just trading up to pick 2, and then you still have that pick 10. So who do you take? Another forward / midfielder, Alexa Spanstra. Is that how you say that?
Spanstra.
Spanstra, okay.
Close enough.
I saw 2 A's in there. That tells me to say so maybe messed up that one.
Yep. She was a player who, if anybody listened to the draft episode we had with Chris Henderson, I asked the question, give me one player who the fans should do a backflip or should be really excited.
This was her.
If the current, if they fell to pick 10. And he said, if Spanstra fell to the current at 10, they should do a backflip. That's exactly what happened. So,
well, I mean, dude, coming from, ACC, University of Virginia over there, consistently playing in ACC championships, was on the U.S. women's national team at the U23 level. It's a hell of a pickup, really. The fact that Chris Henderson, NWSL Draft guru, said this, and then it happened, it's I don't know, because he said it right away. He's like, not gonna happen, but if so, get excited. And then it freaking happens. And he was online too. I was seeing Chris Henderson was grading everyone's pick, like on like a grading school system, A to F or whatever.
Right.
And we got a lot more A's than anything else. Like, we had a pretty good draft, didn't we?
We absolutely did. And I'm going to take a quick step back to Michelle Cooper because, you brought up the grades. And Chris gave Michelle Cooper a value as an A+ and a fit as an A+. So
are these his words you wrote down next to that?
It is. And I got some of mine next to it. But that's what he said. Cooper could have a higher ceiling than Williams. An absurd conversion rate. Like, when she shoots, it's going to be on target. And some really good playmaking skills, would be the number 1 pick, any given year. So the fact that, she is the type of player who might lead the team in jersey sales. She is the type of player. She absolutely. She is, we relate forwards scoring goals to be like the sexy thing, right? Like the coolest thing in the world, scoring goals. That's what people love to see.
Sure.
And this is the equivalent of a Patrick Mahomes. This is the equivalent of, trading a really good player who just scored a goal last night in Lynn Williams.
A good goal against a poor team, but yeah.
Yeah. And it was in like, I don't know, the 80th minute or something.
Garbage time, if you will. Sure.
Yeah. But, Lynn Williams is a really good player. And, we valued Cooper more than Williams. And the Longs, they would have traded almost anything, I think, to get this player. Her first year at Duke, she scored 12 goals with 5 assists. Last year, she scored 19 goals with 11 assists. She has an absolute cannon. She can hit it from outside the box. Like, she's so accurate in terms of putting it on target. She finishes chances. She scored, I thought I read somewhere that she scored like 8 game-winning goals in her career at Duke.
Well, that's a ton of goals at a college level for game winners. Yeah,
the moment's not too big for her. She's clearly, not afraid of that moment. And then she was the 2022 Mac Herman Trophy winner, which is the best college player in the league.
Is that what that is? Okay.
Yep. So she's a generational talent. That's what the current called her. I absolutely agree. I mean, we got our star forward, man. Like, make no mistake, we have our star forward.
Thank you for circling back on that. I was getting ahead of myself and just moving on. I think that I'm excited, dude, because I wonder what that conversation looks like. Who was the team we had to trade for again?
Gotham.
Gotham, yeah. And I wonder how that goes. It's like, hey, what player or two would we have to give you, or what combo would you want for that second pick? And they probably named their price. They probably said Lynn Williams and this much money. So we were like, done. And there you go.
And,
so, I mean, that's cool.
Yeah. And what I thought was really interesting that, really caught my eye is Michelle Cooper actually came to Kansas City and trained at the facilities with the Current.
When?
This past summer. Sorry. And first of all, I didn't even know you could do that. But secondly, what I found very interesting is, that Matt Potter, Cammie, the front office watched Cooper play, watched her practice. And they, and they're obviously familiar with Lynn Williams. And they felt, that Cooper was worthy of trading Lynn Williams. When they set them side by side, they had enough information, they had enough data to make the decision. They got to watch them both practice and play up close, and they chose to trade for Michelle Cooper.
My heart was a tad broken. You've helped it so far with everything you're saying here, and how excited we should be that she's with us. But Lynn Williams, man, it was something we were really looking forward to, watching her comeback season, maybe try to make it on that World Cup roster, and it didn't happen. It's not going to happen. So that stinks. We will not see her in a KC jersey.
Yeah, and I think according to her Instagram, it was a shock to her. I think it was. She was surprised. But you take a look at the trade, right? And we traded straight up Lynn Williams for the 2nd overall pick. So we have to go back and look, what did we give up for Lynn Williams to bring her from the Courage? We gave up $200,000 and a first round pick. So that's essentially what we gave up for Lynn Williams. And then we traded her for the 2nd overall pick. So we essentially, in a roundabout way, traded $200K and a first round pick, for Cooper. That's what we end up flipping it into. Just to kind of show you how good of business that is Angel City to move up from fifth pick to first traded. It was a 4-team trade, so it was really kind of out there, but they ended up trading $450K in the 2024 2nd round pick. So if you take a look at what the Current did from a business perspective and how they're able to flip their assets and resources, well done. Very well done.
I love it. It's a move for sure. And it definitely had the buzz going before the draft even kicked off. So that was something, man. I think last week you said that like coverage began at a certain time, but then the draft began an hour later. And it's like, no, the draft just kicked off at that time and then was continued on another channel or whatever, Paramount Plus. But very cool. Let's pause for appreciation moment with the phones at the draft. Appreciation moment about the colored phones over there. Was that not great?
That was cool. Yeah, that was really cool.
I never thought I needed a teal telephone until like right now. It needs to be. I need it in my house.
I thought it was really cool that they had the draft in person, because the last few years, like everybody did made their picks from their offices, or it was not in person. So I thought that was really cool. It's nice to see all the players there too, have that moment. They get to go pro with their friends and their family and go up there on stage and hold a scarf. That was really cool. Make
it feel real, right? Not some like rinky dink, little silly soccer draft for ladies. You know what I mean? It was legit. It felt like a legit operation, which is nice. So It's nice to see. Back to Alexa Spanstra, though. Our guy Chris Henderson gave her value a A+, and her fit for A+. So backflips, we doing them? Everyone doing their flips? I'll settle for a fall. We'll do a little somersaults.
A trust fall.
A little trust fall is good. Yeah. He said he really thought we needed a left winger, but he never dreamed that we'd see her fall to us. Going to be a thrill to watch, combining with our attacking talent. That's great, dude. Our first two picks are getting this kind of generated buzz. I'm all in.
Everything I've read about Spanstra, as far as like draft recap. Everybody was shocked that she fell and just like either upset or jealous that the Current were able to get her. It was just, she's versatile. She can play inside. She can play outside. She can attack through the middle. She can score from anywhere. She has a good cross. She has a good ball. So this is an attacking player that I think will, work her way into the lineup, especially with national team games and the Challenge Cup. She's going to get some playing time, and I'm really excited to see her play, see how she fits into our attack.
Absolutely. Then we kind of, we get into our other picks. Those are our flashy picks, our sexy picks, if you will. Like those are going to get people talking. Yeah. Now, as any draft goes on, you pick up the leftovers. No, it's a poor term, but
game changers, Dan. Game changers.
Game changers. Freaking Labonta said they're not substitutes, bro. They're game changers. How'd I forget that? Gabby Robinson, pick 15 in round 2, man. What do we know about her from West Virginia? The value Henderson gave it is a C. That's fine though. I passed high school with C's. No big deal.
Look at you now, right?
No big deal. Look at me.
She played for West Virginia. West Virginia had one of the better defenses in the Big 12. She was stout in that middle. She played both center back and kind of a D mid role. She's strong, but she's a little raw. And I think that's kind of where, Chris liked the fit, but the value, he had other center backs ahead of her. I think that was just, where the value comes in. She's kind of raw, but I think they look at her as somebody who has all the traits to eventually be, somebody who can start and come in and play center back. Maybe an Elizabeth Ball, either, play alongside her or a replacement at some point.
Give her a break or something.
Yeah, you kind of have to, because Elizabeth Ball plays she doesn't get a rest. Like she plays all 90.
She goes all out too. Like she's not taking plays off and resting her legs. So it's interesting.
Yeah, Robinson's a good passer though. So that's tough player in the Big 12. Rob, a lot of potential. So we'll see how she kind of develops as the season goes on.
Well, let's just stay in the Big 12 then, because our next pick was Jordan Smooth as Silk Silkowitz, and from Iowa State, man. Again, value at C, but goalkeeper. We said we needed one.
I think where that value is, I don't think a lot of people expected to take a goalkeeper in round 2 because there's so early. Yeah, so early.
So like taking a kicker in your NFL draft?
I didn't want to say it, but kind of.
Okay.
They're looked at it kind of like that. But she's 6 foot, which is kind of that new build that this new generation of keepers are. She's 6 foot. She did not have a very good defense at Iowa State, so she was blocking a lot of shots. She was, when we play rec, Dan, and we're playing a really good team and we're not a good defense and our keeper is making everything happen to prevent, us from getting blown out. That's exactly what she was doing.
Okay.
So she didn't have a great defense, but she was really strong in goal. And she also has a really good passing percentage. So when she, moves the ball around from the back line, she does a good job with that. I think they're looking at her as somebody who can take that third goalkeeper spot.
Most teams value a goalkeeper that can play really well with their feet. Saves are everything. Obviously, that's going to get you to the top of the list if your save percentage is just outrageous. But if you can play with your feet, distribute the ball on the ground, have that poise and calmness about you, that'll get you a job. So we'll see what happens. And you can't always expect these draft picks to make the team. You don't really know. But it'll be fun to keep an eye on these names, see what happens.
Absolutely.
Moving on. Oh, God. I got to say this name? What is it? Is it Makia?
Makia, yep.
Makia Minnis, defender from Washington State, was our third round pick, and solid defender, man.
Yeah, she was 4-time All Pac-12 performer, and she made the preseason Mac Herman Trophy watch list. Is one of the top center backs in the class. So, if you wanted to take a look at, Gabby Robinson, and some people thought that we took her too early, I feel like they made up for that with this pick. When I was looking at mock drafts prior to the draft, her name was consistently around the second round, and we got her in the third round with pick 35. So, another defender who they're clearly going to have a really tough competition with, in training camp. She's a steady, solid defender. If she had done a little better with her aerial duels, she probably would have been rated a little higher.
Okay.
But a really good pick. Just another good defender to come in and give some really tough competition to not only the other draft picks, but to help push, some of the center backs we have on our team.
Look at us.
Currently.
Look at us breaking down this draft. We're so wise when it comes to women's soccer, I like this, man. I like it. I like what we're doing. Our fourth round pick, one of them was Ella. It's not a Schamberger. And I'm just going to throw random nicknames.
I see what you did there.
We'll see if they stick.
What you did there.
We'll see if they stick. Defender from Vanderbilt. Chris Henderson gives it a value of a B. So says this is a great pick at this spot, man. First 4-time all-region selection for Vanderbilt. Played and started in 97 matches. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
For the Commodores, which, you know what they sing. Brick house.
I love the improv right there. I will not try that, but I'm definitely not doing that. But if you're getting the senior and sophomore season of Schamberger, she was a little inconsistent. If you're getting those seasons, I think you'd be a little happier. She was kind of inconsistent from year to year, but at this spot, you're getting great.
Sorry, hold on. You said freshman and junior weren't as great, but sophomore and senior seasons were really good.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Sorry.
So we're getting her out of her senior season.
Yep.
So if she's only good every other year, though, that might not be great.
But at this point, it's worth a shot, right? Another defender. Again, they're just loading up on competition here, kind of seeing who can make their way, onto this team. But definitely a solid player, worth bringing her in. And a lot of these picks, that's what they're doing, because not everybody's going to make the team, right? They're bringing in players who can basically duel it out to see if they can win that spot. And that's, we got 3 defenders here. We got 2 goalkeepers. That's exactly what they're doing.
I feel you, man. We're stacking them for sure. Giving people a chance, letting them battle it out, see what happens. But moving on to that next pick in the 4th round is Rylan Chili Childers, Rock Chalk herself, man. This was one you wanted to. You wanted her. You wanted her to come here. You go to those games at KU. You mentioned it on the pod to Henderson a couple weeks ago, and I don't know. What do we think about this? There was a video online. I don't know if she looked happy or mad. I'm not sure if you saw this video. Did you see this?
I did.
Her whole family's going crazy, like Instagram influencers or something. It was weird. But then she's just sitting there. I don't know if she was. Here's my 2 thoughts. Either she was mad that she went so low, or she's all motherfucking game face. Just business time, dude. She's like, time to get to work and go earn my job. I don't know.
Both. I think it's both.
A little bit. Okay.
She was projected to go a little higher.
So 2 rounds higher, right?
Yeah. Probably the tail end of the second, early third is kind of where I've seen her go.
You think she's feeling like a bit of an afterthought, maybe?
I think she's probably a little disappointed. She
chip on the shoulder.
Far.
Then there it is.
I think she had to have known that she was gonna, if she was gonna be there that late, the current would not let her, slip through.
Yeah. Nice to play down I-70 from your college.
Well, when I go to games, they have a large family, and for whatever reason, we sit by them or they sit by us. So
you're best friends with the Childers?
I mean, not quite, but they sit in the same
cultivate
area.
it.
Yeah, should, right? They sit in the same area, so we see their whole family, and it's a large family. And they also she has a sister that plays as well. So whenever she's on the field, she stands out. KU did not have a great team,
Really,
but she was clearly, night and day better than some of the players on the field. And the general consensus,
she was a big fish in a little pond there.
Kind of, yeah. And the general consensus I read along from watching her is that, she outperformed the team around her. So you put her, on a better team, she's going to shine. And a lot of people believe that that's one of the steals of the draft was her falling that late.
It's not like she's been anywhere else. She was at UMKC for 2 seasons and then went to Kansas. Scored 21 goals at UMKC and 14 at KU. I assume she scored more goals for UMKC because maybe maybe the competition level isn't as high as like the Big 12,
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm excited to see what happens there because that's like a hometown gal, man. Chili Childers.
And I don't know if she has to necessarily battle anybody out as much as some of the defenders or the goalkeepers do.
What are you talking about? She's a midfielder on a team with 27 midfielders.
Yeah, but I think she provides something a little different from this team because, obviously Spanstra, Cooper's, without a doubt is going to be on the team. The rest of the players, the defenders and goalkeepers. So, I think she can battle her way on this team. And I would not be surprised if, she's getting some minutes, in the Challenge Cup.
Okay. Well, our final draft pick was another goalkeeper. One of these goalkeepers will not be kept. Just guaranteed. You know what I mean? So this goalkeeper taken a little later from Ole Miss, Ashley Orcus. Don't have a fun nickname for her. Maybe we'll just call her the Orca if she's just a force back there, a little killer whale, baby.
We'll go with that. Sure, why not?
I got nothing. Dude, SEC goalkeeper of the year last year for the 3rd straight season at Ole Miss. That sounds like a pretty serious deal. I don't know. There's a lot of teams in the SEC. I don't know off the top of my head how many schools are in that conference, but she's the goalkeeper of the year out of everyone. 3 years? I don't know. I don't get it. That's fantastic.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
Chris gave her a value of an A because he actually liked her better than our first keeper, Silkowitz. So, she's a great shot stopper. And again, comes from a team with a shaky back line. So very active, very busy. He believes that she can have the potential to be a backup right away, in the league.
Yeah.
So
sounds like she had to stand on her head in goal for a bit because of shaky defense. You know what I mean? For the Ole Miss. So it sounds like she's no stranger to pressure and is great. And guess what? We need a goalkeeper in those kind of trenches, someone who can handle that pressure, man, can handle that heat when a defensive line collapses. Hopefully ours does not, but it's nice to know that, maybe she can earn that backup spot. Who knows? 4 keepers on the team. I'd like to think AD Franch is the one, but maybe some of these women will challenge her a little bit.
I'm kind of low-key wondering if any of them could potentially, or both of them, dethrone Cassie Miller as the number 2.
Certainly.
Something to keep in mind.
Oh, I think that's more than possible. And as anybody, dude, you get these younger players coming in, your job's on the line. You're not secure in anything. You've still got to come in and prove yourself year after year because you got this hot young talent coming and they're faster already because they're younger. The only thing you might have on them is strength because naturally you've had more time to build the strength in your body, maybe your stamina, endurance, I don't know. But that quickness, dude, you and I have both played against some younger people. And I'm like, slow the fuck down. Everyone relax. Everyone relax. Can we get an age check, please?
We
This is supposed to be adult league. How old are these children?
We would play against like KU club kids
Too
who
much.
are like 20 years old, 19, and they're just flying. And you just look around, you're like, how is this in the same league?
I looked at Nick. I go, listen, I'm not playing defense anymore. Move me up. And he puts me at striker. And I said, do you want to score goals? Why are you putting me there? And I just, little do you know, playing striker was a lot easier against them than playing defense because, they were coming at you.
I was an outside back chasing them with every ounce I had.
And I was watching you being so supportive. I was like, yeah, Chris, you get them. And I was like, just chilling, kind of ribbing their defenders, Tell them to slow down. I'll tell them. I'll say, hey, will you slow it down? I'm 37 years old. Will you slow, please?
I told them that every chance I got. Believe me.
Yeah. I was tugging on shirts. One guy goes, I don't even have the ball. I said, I don't care. Slow it down. Didn't care. I was like, yeah, I'm guarding you. Get back here. Dude, we got draft grades, though, from some publications here. CBS Sports gave us an A. Holy shit. That's satisfactory. That's outstanding. JustWomenSports.com, A. Sports Illustrated said, nah. A+. That's pristine. That's sizzling prime beef. All right. And then you got, then Pro Soccer Wire with US Today came in. And they were like, well, we don't know much about soccer, so we'll give them a B-. That's what they did. Did they even watch? Did they even watch the draft?
I think they're just hanging their hat on that trade with Lynn Williams. They must be big Lynn Williams fans.
That's fine. Hang your hat. Well, oh my God. I'm salty from that B-. Just seeing that. The fact that you included this in your outline to me, I'm mad. And I can't take USA Today for anything. I think their AP top 25 is in shambles every week.
But what was interesting when I was, putting all this stuff together was in the headlines of these recaps, a lot of them mentioned the current win, and then here are the grades. Like, it's not just we got an A, it's like the current beat out everybody and blew this draft out of the water.
Listen, none of this matters if we don't do something this year. Like, I'm so excited to get out there and be like, listen, this is who we are. I don't want to take months to get ready. I don't want to take months to get to form. Dude, I want to just see it in form. I know that's probably impossible to even talk about. We all know soccer is a game where it really does take months to get that cohesion and that flow of the game and the team working together. But nah, I want it now, dude. I want to see it just firing on all cylinders. I want to be spanking teams. I want teams to be like, shit, man, they got Michelle Cooper. Like, she's about to run tire treads on her back. Like, it's, I want them to be scared of us, man. I don't want to just ease into this season. I know Matt Potter's listening right now, and he's like, guys, relax. I know what I'm doing. And I trust you, Matthew. I do. But I want it now. I want it.
But you see, Dabinia, Michelle Cooper, Spanstra, like all these players, and you just want to see it come into fruition, right? We have Mewis, we had Lynn Williams. We never got to see the difference they would make on the field. And that was a big tease. 2.0 now, right? We want to see it. We want to see these close games when you have Dabinia just passing through folks and Cooper just being clutch in some of the biggest moments of the game. And that's what we want to see. And I think that's going to be the difference.
Agreed, buddy. Agreed. That being said, how many draft picks do you think make this roster?
4 to 5.
45. All right.
4-2 dash or slash
4 to 5. All right. Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, obviously we're not keeping 4 goalkeepers. That's insane. I don't know how you justify that at all. But yeah, I think they all have chances, right? Would really love to kind of pulling for that Rylan Childers, man, especially if she truly does have that chip on her shoulder for being drafted in that position. See what happens.
Yeah, no, and I think when those draft picks were made, they made them with the mindset of bringing in competition. They could have traded those picks. They could have traded them for anything. Like they could have got a small amount of allocation money. They could have just, realized that we didn't need them. Our roster limit is already pretty high, or I'm sorry, our roster count. But they brought them in anyway to, have them battle it out in training camp. So that they valued that battle more than they valued allocation money. So that's going to be interesting. And I think they're really counting on that competition.
100%, man. 100%. It's God, they just keep the club just keeps throwing these curveballs at us, dude. With the Debinha thing and then the freaking Lynn Williams thing, and I'm just like, stop it, stop throwing this stuff at us. It's too much. Like I don't like change.
In the off season, I thought we would be pretty slow. The Current have done a great job of keeping us pretty busy on a weekly basis.
And not even as a podcast, but as like fans.
Yeah.
Like, dude, this fan base is emotional. Like they love this team. And there's more and more coming on every freaking day. I got people that I got a buddy. She comes with us to the games, Katie, and she went to her first sporting game and she was like, I think I like Case Current games better. And I was like, all right, well, that's you don't have to like one or the other. You can like them both individually. But she's just all in on Casey Current, man. She was like, but I'll see what the men are about. And she's like, I'll stick to my babes. Like she's just all in, dude. And they're these fans are so passionate about it. So when they start throwing these trades and these acquisitions at us, we don't know how to react other than wild and crazy, like freaking Kermit. It's nuts, man. I'm getting pumped.
We've had a very, exciting, 2 to 3 years with the Current, Mewis, Williams, Mace, Hamilton. Like they are not afraid to take a gamble. They are not afraid to take a risk and just have fun with it, and just try to balance the win now along with developing talent.
That's the thing, right? Like this is, there is a balance too. It's not even a win. It's not all or the other. It's they do want to win now, but they also have some young talent coming in.
They brought in Debinha, which is a win now move. They traded Lynn Williams effectively for Cooper, which is not necessarily you can look at it as a win now, but you could also look at it as a move to have your star striker for the next 5 years.
100%. I can't even imagine what kind of contract, what kind of deal they sign her to. Apparently we have money though. We're just signing whoever. Speaking of Debinha though, she's been shortlisted for the best FIFA football awards of 2022. 14 players in total. And we have a player that was on there. Now, we can't really take a lot of credit because she wasn't with us, but she is now. So we're taking all the credit.
Well, when you look at that list and the names who are on that list, it's the who's who. Like it's the Miedema's, Alex Morgan is on there. Beth Mead, like the best players in the world on planet Earth.
Yep.
The best.
Is this
players,
like the Ballon d'Or?
Similar.
But there is a women's Ballon d'Or, isn't there?
They do. Yeah, they do.
Okay. This is just FIFA trying to do their thing too?
Yeah, and I'm blanking on her name. She won the female version of the Ballon d'Or last year. She tore her ACL, but she was also on the list. But when you look at that list, it's the best female soccer players on planet Earth. And one of them is with the Kansas City Current.
Love that, man.
So,
love it. And if you're on a list, I mean, Alex Morgan's like the GOAT, right? I mean, she's kind of like the big deal when it comes to American soccer.
Yeah.
So to be on that list with her is awesome. And I don't know if Debinha wins this award, but just to be included is kind of neat. And the fact that we'll get to see her play this year is just, it's outstanding, bro.
Yeah.
I think that we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the USA women being back in action. Did you get to watch that last night or did you fall asleep?
I got to watch it, and
I made it too. It's a victory, dude, when you stay up till 11. It's a freaking win.
I watched most of it on the TV, and I watched the last 10 minutes on my phone in bed.
Okay, you moved it to bed. I see.
I did. I took my melatonin and I was ready to bed, but I was not going. I was not gonna miss the rest of the game, which I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah,
because Lynn Williams scored.
An amazing goal against the bad team, like we said, but nonetheless, still an amazing header. The way she had to contort her body to even get to it. I very much pity the people that went to bed at halftime because the goals started coming, baby. It was a bloodbath, as we thought it should have been. But it's like they were just doing that thing where they just play with their food a little bit, feel it out. But chances just kept coming, man, one after the other. Goalkeeper's back there doing this, just hands on hips, like this is out of control, guys. Can someone help me, please? And then the only person that could help them was the post. The post blocked a shot one time or two, but then it just started raining goals, man. Alex Morgan comes and gets on the board. Frickin' Lynn Williams gets hers. Mallory Swan, what's her last name?
Swanson?
Swan.
She got married.
Samsonite? Is that what it is? I was way off. No, is it Swanson?
Swanson. She got married over this offseason.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be tough because when I have a Mallory Pugh celebration, I'll be like pew pew pew, and I'll shoot finger guns. Now I got to go swing swing swing. Yeah, it's not good. It doesn't make the sense.
It's not as good.
Is it Swanson? Are you lying to me?
I think so. Double check. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, we're being ridiculous. If it's not, people are gonna. I don't know if it is, dude.
It's not,
it's Mallory Swanson.
Okay.
Good job. Good job. I was thinking we were offending people and it was going to be bad. And I started to get all worked up last night. I was like, well, he should have taken her name, U.S. Women's National Team. And then I kind of looked into it and I was like, oh, he's a big deal too? Okay, gotcha. He won the World Series a couple years ago. All right, I guess she could take his name too. Whatever works. They're both champions. Sounds good.
Yep.
But just overall, man, we get to watch that same game Friday night, 9:00 again. Same two teams, same bat channel on HBO Max. And how'd you like that on HBO Max? Kind of different.
It was different, but it was good.
Wasn't bad.
Yeah. I really hope we get to see Haley Mace and
French.
AD French. Sorry, I was reading. Yeah.
I don't know if
we will.
French.
Yeah.
I could see Haley Mace getting in there. I think Haley Mace and French would both be perfectly fine making the World Cup roster as backups. I mean, who's going to say no to that? Obviously, you prefer to play, but who's going to say, nah, I'd rather not go to the World Cup if I'm just going to sit on the bench? You know what I mean?
Well, it's who are you behind? Some of the best players in the world. There's no shame in playing behind Nair.
100%.
There's no shame in playing behind some of these other players who are the best in the world at what they do.
And look at this. A little money. A little
money
money comes that
way. A lot
way.
of money now. A lot of money now. And it's a huge honor, right? It's a huge honor. It's a great experience. So, I mean,
and we're also the favorites right now. If our guy Vlatko can get a good roster together, I mean, I'm interested to see how things go.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't mind it, man. I don't mind the HBO Max thing. I know a lot of people are frustrated with it because they're like, well, it's just another paywall. And it's like, everything's really a paywall, right? You got to pay for everything these days. But what's interesting about this is you can't just go to a bar and watch these games now. You can't just go to a USA Watch Party at Johnny's Tavern unless Johnny's Tavern paid for the rights to stream HBO Max in their bar.
Right.
Chris Wright just can't come in and say, I got an HBO Max subscription. Let me Chromecast that bitch up on the TV. And, can't do it. Like there's licensing, dude.
Oh man,
you have to pay.
I was under the impression you could. I mean, I would have, Chromecast it right up there if need be.
I think theoretically you could, but I think it's illegal AF. I don't know if you're allowed to do it, but I'm seeing a lot of people they're like, hey, we aren't doing it, blah, blah, blah. And so basically when the games are on like TNT or TBS, because Turner, Warner Media, HBO, they have the Discovery, they have the rights and everything. Then I think those can be in bars. But right now I'm just like, well, it doesn't affect me. I have HBO. So
I'll watch it anywhere with our subscription.
100%. You said there was a device limit. Did I sign on and kick you off or something?
No, because initially we were watching it in separate rooms. So I was doing some stuff in the office and she was watching on the living room. And then you had brought it up, like, are you watching? And I was like, oh, did I kick you off? Or I thought it was something like that.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah.
No, I got home about 9:30, so I turned it on a little late. So I was just curious if you were up, and I was just going to text you about it. That's funny. I thought I booted you off or something, but nah, man. 3-device limit. We're good. We got it going.
Beautiful.
Hey, interesting league note before we sign out of here for the day, for the week. I didn't know this, so you kind of broke news to me by saying this, is that NWSL is implementing VAR for 2023. Berman says it's, who's Berman, by the way?
The league commissioner.
Commissioner. Okay. Yeah. I was like, you didn't put a first name, so put some respect. It says it's a many-month process with lots of resources from training individuals to implementing technology. They have a minimum of 6 cameras for every game, which starts this season. That means like the first game, it's going to happen.
I don't know if it means the first game. I kind of take that as we're going to have it at some point in time during the season. But all in all, it's a huge step up for the league. It's great for the players.
It's a victory. Yeah.
We always talk about how these refs, well, MLS refs are not great either, but the pro refs are not that good. So the fact that we can clean up some of the mistakes that they make, for the league, for the players, it's a great thing. I'm very happy.
Human error, bro. Baseball is umpires are gonna be replaced by like robots soon. You know what I mean? They're always I think the worst thing, by the way, in baseball is when like a strike is called, but then they show the replay of the pitch and it shows it clearly outside of the strike zone. And I'm like, damn, way to blast your freaking umpire back there, dude.
I feel like umpiring would be very difficult. Like,
have you ever done it?
I've never done it, but I think it'd be very tough.
I did it in high school, bro. Like Little League Baseball. These parents, dicks. They're such dicks, dude. And I'm like, you need to chill. I'm 17 years old. Like, why are you yelling at me? This is ridiculous. I'm getting paid $25 a game. Let's relax.
Those are the worst. The worst.
Not great, man. But I used to love a big punch out. I would just make up my own freaking, yells and shit. So much fun.
It's like 3 balls, 2 strikes. You got it cocked and ready to go the second that ball.
Just ready, dude. Ready to hit it right when it hits the glove. But then when it's like ball 4, people get so mad. It's unbelievable. But dude, Commish also says regarding salary cap, it's been increased by 25% for the upcoming season to 1.375 mil, and allocation increased to $600K. You know why? So Casey Current can just sign more All-Stars. What is happening?
Do you think it's a coincidence that this got, increased after we had signed Dabinia and all that good stuff? So the more money that we have in this league, the more teams can spend on players, the better players we get, the more money players get. Like it's a good move forward for the league. This is going to continue to happen, I think, at a rapid pace. And
this is a big deal. This is a big deal, raising that salary cap, because no one likes to be restricted, right? So the fact that that's happening, man, you can get bigger players in from overseas as well. This league as a whole is just growing together, and we're all a big part of this. Man, strap in. It's getting fun.
I know they're going to start negotiating TV rights for the NWSL after, because I believe this is the last year that's under CBS, so for like Paramount. So, they're going to start negotiating. So more money for the league, more money for the teams and players.
Be careful, dude. Apple TV will swoop on it and sign them for like a decade, like they did with MLS. They're like 10 years, Apple TV Plus. I wouldn't put it past them to come talk to NWSL as well.
Well, we're going to have a conversation if that's the case.
Because you don't have Apple.
Because I don't have Apple.
Hey, we could figure something out.
We'll figure it out. But
I love it. Oh, dude, you got anything else? What's anything else to talk about?
I do, and I am an optimist.
Oh,
right. I'm an optimist for the most part, and I've been seeing little things here and there. And you referenced Dumb and Dumber earlier. So, I'm just thinking of, you're telling me there's a chance, right?
Okay.
So this is regarding Desiree Scott.
Oh.
I don't think we're out of the running just yet. So
no announcements yet.
No announcements. And as time goes on, you know, the value of that player can drop, right? You know, I can see her costs coming back or going to a team getting lower as time goes on.
Sure.
And, you know, she doesn't need to play, so she can be picky where she goes. But where I'm going with this is Haley Mace had a post on Instagram regarding, you know, playing in New Zealand. And Desiree Scott said under her Instagram, you look really happy. I expect to see that when we're vibing in the locker room. Ha, ha, ha.
What have you done? Are you stalking? You're getting buzz on the IG?
You know, I got to give credit to the Blue Cruise Discord because they found it. So
hey, I'm all for some online detective work, dude. My wife gets on it. If someone is like doing some vague booking, you know, where they'll like post on Facebook like some relationship drama or something, but they don't mention what it is, my wife's she's on it in like 10 minutes. She'll tell you exactly who they're talking about. Like, she's all about it. Oh, it turns out such and such isn't friends with such and such. And I'm like, what have you done today? But that's good detective work. Blue Crew, big ups, baby. I love it.
And I think I can't remember, but there was another comment that was similar and that just kind of, you know, had my ears perking up. I was like, let's keep an eye on this. And it may be nothing.
Why she got to laugh though? Why she got to laugh at the end? I don't like that. Is that like, ha, 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 yeah, right? Or is it like, ha, 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 so much fun?
It was actually boo ha, 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 not with a B. So.
Oh, a B, not a P. You like to do the P's.
I do. I do the P.
That's how I know it's serious. That's how I know you think it's really funny.
But, you know, I would love to see her back vibing in the Kansas City Current locker room. So,
why you gotta say it like that?
Because I'm not hip.
Are you too old to be cool?
I'm not hip. When we talk, we don't refer to each other as vibing. So that's
bro. I vibe with you every day. Absolutely.
Okay, I'll take it.
I'm too hip to be square, man.
Cool.
See how I don't vibe? That I'm quoting Huey Lewis in the news over here.
You're gonna be that guy who thinks he's hip, but everybody's like, he's not hip.
Exactly. Know? Yeah. Wearing backwards hats and like those are just out. I'm like, when did that happen? We don't wear backwards hats anymore. Things are just rough. Dude, you got earrings? What? I'm not allowed to wear earrings? It's absolutely ridiculous.
No self-awareness. No self-awareness.
None. Zero. Well, dude, yeah.
That's all I got.
Blue Crew, keep an eye on the Desi Scott situation and break news to us. That excites me because I love her. So
I'm trying to temper my expectations, but it's just something to keep in mind. Just keep in mind.
Yeah.
You know.
Totally. Cool, man. Well, appreciate you getting on here with me today. And, you know, let's wrap this thing up. Guys, follow us online at No Other Pod on Twitter and Instagram. First of all, I do want to give a shout out to Chip Colmia. Chip hit us up and asked what we would grade our NWSL draft night. I think we very clearly would also grade it an A, not a B-, you shit ass USA Today. Get the hell out of here.
Gonna give our producer something to do with his bleeps today.
What you bleeps? Come on, man. What is this going on? Christian Mingle? This is ridiculous. We're not bleeping this. I know bleeps. Jordan knows.
Man.
Special shouts to Jordan, our producer today, and my buddy Chris. You can follow us online at Dan Kooser, at Chris Wright 21. Send us an email, nootherpod@gmail.com. We love getting those. We read them. Recently got one from Chris McGann from Omaha. We read it on No Other Pod yesterday. So if you guys didn't listen to it, you should have listened to it because it was a very nice message we got from Chris. So for Chris, I'm Dan. We love you guys so much. We'll see you next time.